This is Ben back with another vid. No, been gone for a little bit. Hope everyone is doing good. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hold on one second. I'm back. I'm back with another vid. Hope everyone's been doing good. And hope everyone have a wonderful Tuesday. Having a wonderful Tuesday. If you're seeing this after the, later on. But I want to talk about Duke basketball, Duke and Michigan game on this. Give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I just want to thank God for just allowing me to see another day and just being grateful for all of the things that God has done in my life and done in my wife's life and our lives together and what he's going to do. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to God and to my Lord and Savior, Jesus. And so, but I just want to talk really quick about the Duke basketball Michigan game this past Saturday. What a game it was. They even had a game day earlier on Saturday. And I thought it was awesome. And I know some people were talking about that, they would love to see a home and home instead of a neutral. But when you think about it, I mean, I wouldn't mind that, I wouldn't mind seeing a home and home. And so I'm thinking that that's probably something that's gonna eventually end up happening. I'm thinking that's something that they're probably gonna try to do, on a relatively regular basis. I'm assuming, but we'll have to see. But I think that it's good to also have these central locations, these other locations, because essentially, I didn't know, but where they played is where the tournament, the NCAA tournament, is going to be played. And so you're kind of getting that feel of a tournament feel ahead of time. You're kind of getting especially a big time game between the number 1 and number 3. Duke has, because they did beat Michigan, they took over the number 1 spot. Me as a Duke fan, I really don't get so caught up into the rankings. If they would have stayed at 3, I would have been fine. But I know that they couldn't stay at 3 because they did beat the number 1 team, and then other teams lost that possibly could have jumped up to 1, but they lost. So you gotta put Duke at number 1. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's not that big of a deal to me, because I think that Duke has done and played the teams and beat a lot of the teams where they deserve the number 1 seed in the tournament already. Now they still have to play. They're still playing Notre Dame this evening at Notre Dame. So they still need to take care of business there. They need to take care of business back at home against Virginia. They need to take care of business with NC State. And then they need to take care of business with Carolina, the last game of the regular season. And then they need to take care of business in the tournament. And but I'm so proud of this Duke team. I think that they've done, John Scheyer and the staff have done a remarkable job. And I'm very proud as a Duke fan. Let me see. He was on real quick. Uh, how's it going, Herta? How's it going? What's going on? All right. I appreciate the chiming in. Like, like and share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. This channel I talk about sports mainly, but I may talk about other little things as well, motivational type things, the Lord, or what God's done in my life, whatever. But so a little mixture. I haven't been on for a little bit, but thought I'd chime in for a little bit on my way to work. but But I'm proud of this Duke team. I'm proud of what John Scheyer and the staff has done with this team. When you look at this team, I think unfairly this team has been compared to last year's Duke team. Last year's Duke team was a really good team. Some people may say that last year's Duke team was more imposing of a threat, than this Duke team. But one of the things I think that John Scheyer has learned from Coach K is the ability to be adaptable based on the personnel that you have year to year. Some coaches, they stay the same, and you have to conform. The players have to conform to the style of the coach, because that's the style is gonna be. That's not Coach Scheyer, and I'm not saying that that's bad, but that's not Coach Scheyer. He's learned to be adaptable to the team and the personnel, and how they need to play to get the best out of the team. Even when it comes to defense, they started out a certain way. They've changed that because they ran into some issues. They started out really good, and then they ran into a rough patch after the break. The defense kind of went down a notch. Teams were scoring on them a lot easier and things like that. I believe that's what happened with the Texas Tech game, and a game that Duke had in hand for the majority of the game and should have beaten Texas Tech. Just being honest. But they've made some adjustments, and it seems to get them back to basically where they were earlier, and maybe even getting a little bit better. And they know who they are as a team. I think at this point, if you don't know who you are as a team, that's a problem, because this is 27 games in, and I would think that you would know, who you are by now after 20-something games. And so that's what I love about this team, and what the adjustments that Coach Scheyer and the staff has made on the defensive end. How they play offense in the half court, how they pick their spots and getting fast break points, and it's not the most sexiest type of, I guess you can say, maybe the way it looks may not look like the most exciting, but then again, it is exciting to a degree as well. It's just different, and I like it. And this team still has to improve on some things, but they're I think going in the right direction. I think they're in the right direction as far as where they want to go, the aspirations that they have, and that I believe that they're going to be a team that's going to be a hard out when it's all said and done. And so there's a lot of good teams out there. I'm looking at Arizona. They're gonna look like they're gonna be a one line. Duke, Michigan, and they're saying Iowa State. But we'll see when it's all said and done. I think Iowa State probably will. Unfortunately, Houston did catch another L. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that the SEC, that's everybody's talking about the Big 12. The SEC ain't no joke conference either. And Houston took another L. And when I look at Houston, they're not quite the same as they were last year because they had Jawan Roberts, I think is his last name, that could, score on the inside relatively well. And they just don't have that right now. They don't have that right now. And so I think that's really hurting them because they really, and Kelvin Sampson said it. I mean, they have really become a jump shooting team. When you really look at their team, it's not what you would see in a Houston team, but they do take a lot of shots, jump shots, and the thing with that is that when you're not hitting, and the other team is, you can't really produce on the inside to have a threat. But people got to pay attention to it. It's gonna be hard to win those games when the other team is knocking them down left and right. And that's really, when I looked at the Kansas, I mean, it was a close game, competitive game during the half, and then a little bit part of the half, but then things just kind of got away from Houston because Kansas was just knocking down shots after shots after shots. And when that happens, it's just tough, to recover when you don't really have an inside presence that can produce some points there and be an issue for the other team. And right now, that's where I see Houston is at, and I think Kelvin he knows it, and that's the reason why they're suspect, and I wouldn't. I know it sounds funny to say that about one of his teams, but what are you doing, dude? This guy's up here just, I don't know what he's doing. But I wouldn't. It's kind of weird to say that about a Kelvin Sampson team, but they have some things to shore up. It's coming down to the last bit of the regular season and the tournament times get ready. So man, it can get tough, but kudos to Kansas. They got to win, and everybody's gonna have a little rough patch. Duke has had their rough patch, and every team is gonna have some kind of rough patch. Every team. So it's just part of the process and the season and everything. You just can't allow the losses to get you down. It's a mental thing, and so we'll see how Houston does, but I'm proud of Duke. They have Notre Dame tonight. I hope they don't, take anything for granted. I don't think they will. This team has been pretty good on the road. They've been taking care of business on the road, and I expect them to do the same tonight against Notre Dame. So that's all I just wanted to share. I hope that you have a great Tuesday. Blessings. What's going on, everybody? Josiah, what's going on? And I appreciate everybody coming on. Make sure you hit the like button for me. I appreciate everyone coming on. And hope everyone have a blessed Tuesday, great Tuesday. And I'll see you the next time. Blessings, everybody.